The Sloop and the Galleon have been buffed. The ships come under the microscope at rare, the wind has been updated, and speeds rebalanced, impacting the Brigantine's ability to dominate. Welcome to Ghost Flash, the only place to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out. Okay, so today is an interesting one because we knew that ships were being looked at by Rare and they were going through bringing in some ship speed balances, but what they've done is really intuitive and fixes a lot of the problems. So let's just get straight into it, along with a load of other things coming in June's update. First off, I'm going to start with the thing that everyone is going to want to know about. Ship speeds. They have buffed the Sloop and the Galleon, but how have they done this? Well, for starters, the wind now winds. It now functions how the wind should. For starters, this means that the angle at which your sails are at affects your ship speed more. So if you're on a Galleon and all your sails are into the wind, that's going to affect your ship more than previously. Additionally, dummy sails no longer work. For those of you who don't know what this is, basically if you were sailing at a side wind, it would be better for your ship's speed to angle it straight ahead than try and catch the wind at either side. With your ship's sail angle affecting your speed more, this buffs the Sloop and the Galleon. The Galleon will now go faster when it's going with the wind, when the wind is going into its sails, because it has 3 of them. Whereas going against the wind, it's going to impact it more because those 3 sails are slowing it down more. Jumping to the Sloop, it won't gain as much benefit from going directly into the wind, but going against the wind, because it only has 1 sail with resistance, it will go faster. So the ranking now when sailing into the wind, so against the wind, the Sloop is the fastest, followed by the Brig, with the slowest being the Galleon. For the other way, it's flipped. So if you're sailing with the wind, the Galleon is the fastest, followed by the Brig, then the Sloop. Some of you might have assumed that it was always this way, and this is indeed how it should be, but the Brigantine has been dominating in every scenario, so now it's been knocked off its top spot. The team are conscious of this and will be looking at the Brigantine's performance and look at any buffs if necessary to keep it relevant in the meta. But this is how things always were meant to be and should be, so I'm glad things are finally back to normal. Things make sense now, and dummy sails, it's been a fix we've been waiting for forever. We've known about it for so long, and so now it's finally coming to the game, which is good. You may have found yourself in a scenario once or twice or many times where you're either chasing a Brigantine or a Brigantine's chasing you, and you can't quite seem to catch up or outrun it. Well, this is because the Brigantine has been superior speed-wise for a very long time. Now then, on to buffs to the double barrel pistol. The new weapons added in Season 12 have been struggling to pull their weight a bit, and so over the past few updates, the double barrel pistol has received some balance updates to make it slightly less clunky, but in June they're pushing this forward to some quite big buffs. They're giving it a quicker charge speed, more accurate hipfire, and increasing the damage all round. In terms of numbers, it's being increased by 5 per shot. So what this translates to is 45 damage per shot, from 40, so for a charged shot, 90 up from 80. As with the changes to ship speeds, they'll be looking at the buffs to the double barrel pistol to see if it needs any further changes in future updates. The balancing on this, I do have to agree with. It's not necessarily that these new weapons are weak by any means, it's more that there are better alternatives. The sword blunder combo, or the sword and anything combo really, has been such a major part of the meta for so long. Giving the sword up for any reason is a big deal because you're losing that sword lunge mobility. Now there are 6 weapons in the game, so the sword isn't always going to be a go-to option, so weapons like the double barrel pistol have to be worth it. For context, in case any of you wondered, with the throwing knives, a light attack does 15 damage, the throw attack does 60 damage, and the heavy attack does 70 damage, obviously out of a total of 100 damage, which is a player's health bar. The sword does 20 damage for anyone wondering. You can look up damage numbers on the Sea of Thieves wiki for the rest of the weapons if you do so wish. There are some breakpoints which have been affected by the new damage numbers as well. The most immediate one that I can think of is equipping the throwing knives with the double barrel pistol. You can now charged shot and a light melee, and that will be enough to kill a player. I'm sure there are more, comment them down below if you know what they are. To finish off the balance changes, they're nerfing commendation requirements. These are a bit like what they did with captaincy, but they're reducing amounts needed, specifically targeting Season 12 commendations across the board, so they'll be that much easier to unlock. It's also worth noting that, like with the captaincy milestone nerfs, if you're now over the threshold for the commendation with the nerfs coming in, you'll need to complete one more of the activity for it to fully unlock. For example, say you're cashing in an item and you're at 50 out of 100 and the nerf brings it down to 40, you'll need to cash in one more of that item to cross the line and get the commendation. Balance done, we've got some other updates to blitz through, and the first thing I want to talk about is the Pirate Emporium, and that might come as a surprise to some of you, but, well, take a look at what they're adding. Yeah, the recolors and the curse. The Emporium has had a lot of controversy recently in terms of monetization tactics and what they've actually been adding. The curses have been a real sticking point for some people, and when they put the stone curse in the plunder pass, a lot of people thought it was just going to be a one-off, with it being a Medusa-themed season pass. However, now they're adding an electric curse into the Emporium. Curses were always meant to be those really special cosmetics that you get from doing a specific experience, doing Tall Tales or doing Hourglass. You know, these relatively hard to get cosmetics that show you've achieved something. But now there are 3 curses behind a paywall. Let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below. I'm eager to see what you guys think, because so far there has been a bit of backlash to it, so we'll see how the rest of it plays out. Personally, I'm not a fan. I would not put curses in the Emporium, but we'll have to see what they do in the future. I'm really hoping this is not going to become a regular thing. As for the recolors, they're fine, but I don't see why we're getting them. It just seems like a quick and easy way for Rare to come up with a new ship set. To their credit, they are adding another ship set alongside the recolor, but I don't know. In my opinion, the quality of Emporium cosmetics has been going down recently, particularly when it comes to the ship sets. In my opinion, they've just not been as flashy or cool or collectorsy as Emporium cosmetics should be, especially for the charge they're pricing. But pricing is always going to be a sticking point, and the game does have to make money. Moving on from Emporium related topics, there's a community weekend going on from the 15th to the 17th of June, with the usual community weekend shenanigans happening. It is worth mentioning this includes Twitch drops for everyone, so you can get Twitch drops by watching any streamer playing Sea of Thieves, not just partners. And we also have the Emporium Extravaganza, where if you sign up for the Sea of Thieves newsletter and purchase the free emote in the Emporium currently, you'll be entered into a raffle, with the winner getting the entire Emporium stock, including that in June's update. Additionally, there are 100 plunder passes for Season 13 to the runners-up, and if you spend 2,000 ancient coins in the store, then you will get the ancient coin trinket, but that is only from the 10th to the 17th of June. And finally, to round things off, we have new outpost stock coming in June's update. So let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below. Are you excited for the new balance changes? What do you think of the ship speed changes? And do you agree with the damage buffs to the double barrel pistol? But that does just about bring us to the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy them, please do consider leaving a like. It really does help out the channel an absolute ton. And subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Sea of Thieves news as and when it comes out. And while you're at it, why not hit the bell as well. But apart from all that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.